Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is a story that blends emotion, history, and the weight of shared memories. It's about Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom, two people whose lives were once completely intertwined, whose marriage was lived in the spotlight, and whose reunion nearly a decade later left Khloé calling the experience so emotionally draining. The beginning of their story. Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom's relationship began in a whirlwind. Back in 2009, the two met and quickly fell for each other. Within just a month, they were married. Their romance was filled with public appearances, reality television moments, and a sense that they were deeply connected. Lamar, at the time, was a celebrated NBA player with the Los Angeles Lakers, and Khloé was rising in fame through her family's reality series. From the outside, the couple looked like a fairy tale match, glamorous, passionate, and larger than life. But behind the scenes, things weren't always as perfect as they seemed. Lamar struggled with personal issues, including substance abuse and infidelity, and those difficulties slowly placed strain on their marriage. By 2013, Khloé had filed for divorce. It was an emotional time for her, as she not only ended her marriage, but also had to process that separation in the public eye. Though their divorce wasn't finalized until 2016, Khloé showed compassion and strength during Lamar's health crisis in 2015 when he was hospitalized. She stayed by his side during his recovery, even though their romantic relationship was over. Fast forward nearly a decade. Years passed, and both Khloé and Lamar moved forward in their own lives. Khloé became a mother to her daughter, True, and later welcomed her son Tatum. Lamar worked to rebuild his health and career. For almost 10 years, they had no face-to-face contact, though the media often speculated about whether they might ever reconnect. That reunion finally happened in 2025, and it was captured in the season 6 premiere of The Kardashians. Cameras rolled as Khloé and Lamar sat down together for the first time in nearly a decade. For viewers, it was emotional. For Khloé, it was far more intense than many could imagine. Khloé's emotional reaction. Speaking on her own podcast, Khloé in Wonderland, she explained that the reunion was so emotionally draining. She described how surreal it was to sit across from someone she hadn't seen in almost 10 years. She said it wasn't just about facing an old relationship, but also about doing so in front of cameras, which added another layer of stress. Certain little details brought her right back to the past. She recalled that Lamar arrived late and was sweating, small things that unexpectedly triggered old memories from their marriage. To her, those moments were reminders of difficult times, and it almost felt like she had been pulled back in time. Khloé admitted it felt like an out-of-body experience. She explained that she went into protection mode, almost like autopilot. In her words, she sort of blacked out during parts of the conversation, as if her emotions were too strong to fully process in the moment. A conversation that lasted hours. The actual reunion between Khloé and Lamar lasted far longer than what viewers saw on television. She revealed that they talked for 4 to 4.5 hours, though the episode only showed a fraction of that. The reason for their meeting wasn't about rekindling romance or seeking closure. It was more practical. Lamar had some personal items that Khloé was returning, and he wanted to personally give her flowers. It was a gesture of respect, not a setup. Khloé also made it clear that Lamar knew about the cameras. This wasn't an ambush. Even so, the weight of history between them made the conversation exhausting for Khloé. She emphasized that it wasn't about rehashing the past, but more about wrapping up a long chapter that had been left unfinished. Why Lamar reached out. According to Lamar, their reunion was set in motion when he happened to meet Khloé's best friend, Malika Hack. Malika encouraged him to reach out and clear the air. That chance meeting eventually led to the film sit-down, which became one of the most talked-about moments of the season. For Lamar, it was about respect. For Khloé, it was about navigating an overwhelming flood of memories, respect, and compassion. Even after all the struggles of their marriage, Khloé has spoken about the respect she still holds for Lamar. She once described him as the first man to step into the role of head of the household after her father passed away. During their marriage, Lamar took on responsibilities that went beyond their relationship, and Khloé still acknowledges that part of his presence in her life. This respect doesn't erase the pain of their past, but it explains why their reunion, though draining, was also deeply meaningful. It wasn't about falling back into old patterns, but about recognizing the impact they had on each other's lives. Looking ahead, Khloé said she isn't opposed to meeting Lamar again, but if it happens, she hopes it will be in a more private setting. The combination of cameras, pressure, and personal memories made their first reunion overwhelming. She also clarified that she doesn't see these meetings as about closure. Instead, they're simply a way to acknowledge the past while continuing to move forward. Final thoughts. The reunion between Khloé Kardashian and Lamar Odom was more than just a television moment. It was a collision of past and present, of love and heartbreak, of public life and private emotions. Khloé's honesty about how draining it was gives us a glimpse into the real human experience behind the headlines. She showed that even years later, even after moving on with life, certain people and certain memories can still hold power. It's not about going backward, but about honoring what was and allowing space for healing. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you found this story insightful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below with your thoughts on Khloé and Lamar's reunion, and don't forget to share this video with others who might want to hear the story. Your support helps me keep bringing you research stories like this one.
See you next time.